What's up, y'all? I know it's loud outside. I just had to come outside to do my content today because I need some fresh air. You know, I just woke up from a nap because I was up at 3 a.m. There's a reading that will be posting later on. I don't know when, because like I can do a reading. I can go live right now and then my reading won't post till tomorrow. Okay, so last night I did a reading. Well, 3 a.m. I did a reading today. So it might post later. Who knows? But yeah, I'm tired, y'all. Not really necessarily tired, but more of it's an energy wave that I'm going through right now where it's like making me sleep a lot. And no matter how much I sleep, like I just can't get enough sleep. So I don't know if this is collective or what, but I'm feeling like this. Like I'll wake up at weird times of the day and just either, like either I'm up in the middle of the night or I'm asleep in the day. So I come outside to do my reading today. The wind was blowing earlier, so I decided to go in and get my little wallets here. Can help us out here. We have different, like our miniature tarot cards here that we can use. So yeah. Just so the wind won't blow that shit away. I'm gonna take a few deep breaths. I feel like my energy is just off a little bit right now. Chico. Chico. Come here. Come here. So you're just gonna keep crying. Chico. Alright, so I have my Cash App in the description box if you'd like to donate or leave a tip to the channel. I really appreciate all donations and tips, as it does help me. I do everything I do for me for a living, so if you can support in any kind of way, I really appreciate that, even if it's just a donation. So thank you, Spirit. Please allow me to connect deeper with the universe, source energy. Please help me to connect deeper. Please clear my energy of anything that does not serve me. Help me to relay the messages to the collective in the most clear way, the clearest messages possible, okay? Please help me to get straight to the point and help change lives, okay? Thank you. So it's weird because I was shuffling and the Seven of Swords came in reverse. If y'all don't know, like the last couple of readings I did, the Seven of Swords really has been a big thing. So I'm gonna shuffle again and see, if it comes back out as meant to be. The Seven of Swords is about manipulation. It's about, changing somebody's words around or something here to where it better fits you, but it's not necessarily the truth or what somebody said. So these three cards flipped out. The High Priestess, the Tower, and the Queen of Pentacles. So something's giving me a vibe where you know that your life is about to change, okay? These last couple readings I've been doing, it's something here about just one step that you have to take to where you know that things are going to be okay now, because you're taking that one step. You're going to actually see the signs that everything in that direction is where you're supposed to go. This music is a little distracting. And I almost feel like it's too pretty for the vibe. Sometimes I'd be like, I feel like there's something like with this Tower card right here. I feel like there's something that's about to happen that's going to disrupt or like really just shake up some shit. Okay, so like whatever situation you're in, I know I can really feel the poverty. I can feel the lack. You know, I can feel the lack of material in your life right now, or it's something here that you feel like you need more of in order to thrive. Okay, of course, a lot of the time people say, oh, I can go without that. You know what I'm saying? I can go without that. I don't need it. I just want it. But most of the time when we want something, that's actually a need for our soul. Okay, so it just because it seems like we can go without it doesn't mean that we should go without it. Okay, that's just like, you know, like I don't believe in being a slave. You know what I'm saying? If you do something for nothing in return, then you're being a slave. Okay, so if you're waiting on something for no reason, like a lot of people, they do stuff like you have a goal, right? You have a manifestation that you would like to bring into the world, and instead of believing that it's gonna come, you know, and just looking out for the signs, a lot of y'all, like, you know, the average person would just like still scratch and fight and go against the grain to actually make this work, when manifestation is just like, you know, that spiritual lifestyle is not supposed to be about fighting against the grain and you know, shit like that. So there's something here with the High Priestess. You already know this. Like your spirit knows that there's something better on the other side of this. Okay, you know, you can feel it, that there's something about to happen for you. And so because you know something's about to happen for you, it's like it's causing you to react in a way where you like, you know how somebody tell you that you're about to win, like you're about to get some money, or you're about to go on a trip, right? A vacation. It's like you start to prepare, you start to get excited, you start to feel and look different and everything. And people, they might you know, they might be like, you know, why are you acting different? Or, you know, they actually can feel the effects of you, you know, something different happening in your life. Okay, so not only that, because they can feel it and because you're acting that way, it might cause certain Tower moments. For example, the people that weren't really on your side this whole time, they're going to start to show their true colors. Okay, that means certain opportunities too. So you might have been holding yourself back from doing this, you know, taking a leap of faith because you didn't want to lose your job, you didn't want to lose a certain opportunity, a scholarship or something. But it's like, what's yours is yours. Nobody can take that from you. So what I mean by that is you have a specific divine path that you're supposed to be on right now, right? So everything on that path that you're supposed to be on, that cannot get taken from you. Everything that you're going to get, okay, out of life in general, whatever is yours is yours. So if you just so happen to be on that path even a little bit, you're going to reap your reward, okay? You might not get everything in one flash, but the more that you get on your path, you're going to see more things that are meant for you, okay? And so that's what this Queen of Pentacles is. You're adjusting, you know, you're adjusting yourself, you're adjusting your focus, and so you're going to actually, it's like getting rid of what doesn't serve you, you know, and you're also going to bring in what does serve you. So that being said, we're going to get into some clarification here. Like I said, I have my little wallet here. The wind is blowing, so my cards might blow away. I don't want to risk that, so I'm just going to pull from here. I have a little pocket with all my little mini cards in there, and so I shuffle them a little bit, as you can see, and then that's how I do it. So thank you, God, for these messages. It's crazy. Thank you. So we had the Seven of Pentacles came out. I don't know if y'all saw that. It was actually on the bottom of this deck. Yeah, see? So no coincidences. It's literally like, it's a sign. You know what I'm saying? No, every sign that you're meant to see, you're going to see it where you are, even if you're in the wrong spot. You know what I'm saying? And then you're also going to see it where you're meant to be. You see how both of these came out, no matter which deck that we're in, you know? So that's another sign that you are protected and that you're going to see what you're meant to see in due time. So don't worry about not being in tune and not seeing it and all that shit, okay? I feel like a lot of you may be worried that you're not on the right frequency or not on the right track because you just feel a little lost. You're like, you know, you're nervous. And I feel like this is the calm the calm before the storm type of energy. Something's going to happen soon, and it's going to change your life. It's going to be big. It's going to be very prosperous as well. We had the Three of Swords came in reverse, so I feel like it's going to be healing, okay? There's a lot of things that other people, excuse me, y'all. Chico, come here. Don't say nothing about how I'm holding him because he don't care. So, but anyways, with the Three of Swords coming in reverse, I feel like you're going to heal. Because if you think about it upright, the Three of Swords upright is basically swords stabbed into your heart. You know, you might feel wounded, you might feel emotional pain because of things that people have said, or maybe how people view you or what they think about you and stuff like that. Okay, you might have broken your own heart in some kind of ways by accepting certain truths that aren't really true for you. Okay, so with this being in reverse, I feel like with you taking this leap of faith, it's going to reverse all spells, all, you know, all things that was said about you, you know, that people, all the doubts and worries and shit. It's just going to start to magically like disappear, because the action that you're taking, it just canceled out the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? People can have their opinions all day, but if you're actually doing it and succeeding at it, you're happy, you feel good doing it, what can people say? All of that worry and stuff, all of those, you know, those fears that people try to place on you to keep you from doing what you're doing, is going to just magically disappear. You're going to be like, wow, I mean, I understand why they said that, but that's not really my, you know, mine to carry. It's not something that you should worry about. Maybe they would worry about it if they were on that journey, but you're a different person. Like, you know, not saying that you're necessarily, like, I'm not trying to give you a big head about it or anything, but it's just like you have more knowledge. You obviously been called to do this for a reason. If they haven't been called to do it, then they haven't reached that level yet. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of the time, people don't realize, for you to go against the grain and just like, for you to do things that most people wouldn't do, you know what I'm saying? That means you have tapped into something. Chico, I'm finna whoop your little ass. Yeah, you. A lot of the time, y'all, it's like you can tap into something that most people don't tap into. You know, some deep hidden knowledge, or even like you feel things differently, so you're just willing to take certain risks. People don't be aware of that. People like to put themselves in your shoes instead of, well, barely that. They just like to put their opinion on you instead of really feeling like, what would I do if I really was this person? You know what I'm saying? They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the shit that you felt and you had to experience in order to come to this decision. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck can they say? And I feel like you're gonna realize this, like, wow, all of that was just talk, you know, that was just them trying to keep me from taking that action. But now that I've taken the action, you know, it's nothing to worry about. Okay, and I feel like y'all know this, like either you're on the side where, you know, you're waiting, but you already know that you're going to be abundant once you take this action. And some of you are in the middle of the tower, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to figure out, like, a lot of you, like, if you're in the middle of the tower, I'm getting to let shit fall. Just let shit fall apart. We're going to clarify that, though. So, what is this tower card, guys? Had a Four of Wands. So things are actually, they might look like they're falling apart, but they're actually restructuring, okay? Things are going where they're supposed to go at this time. So whatever is falling apart is because it wasn't really as stable as you thought anyway. It's not what you thought it was. So it has to be gone, it has to be torn down. So what's their advice for this Tower card? I'm not really feeling the mini cards right now. I'm really wanting to get some real shuffling going. Can we clarify all three cards right now? I feel like y'all are just waiting on something to roll in. Y'all waiting on something to happen. Y'all are about to be rich. Okay, y'all are about to be set for a long time. Okay, wealthy as fuck. There's something that you have been working on. I feel like you stopped working on it because it was a time and a place where you had to sit back and just allow whatever to come to you. Because I feel like you were just putting in work, putting in work, putting in work. And at some point you just forgot, like, why am I even doing this if nothing is happening? You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, you've been on a journey for a long time where you had ups and downs, you had trials and tribulations, where some things in the journey did work out and some things didn't. So, you know, I feel like you're on a self-care wave right now where you're just like pulling your energy back and kind of just like seeing where things go. You're seeing where things go. And so with the Tower card being in the middle of this, I feel like things are actually like, it's like there's a fire in front of you and you're letting it warm you instead of making it damn, I was about to say some cool shit. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So imagine, you know, most people, they're afraid of fire. Fire is dangerous. Fire can also be warm though, and just luxury at times, right? So I feel like with you're being advised to see this tower as, you know, a fire in front of you that you're allowing to warm you, something that allows you to think creatively. You know, some people around the campfire, they read stories, they sing songs, they cook marshmallows and s'mores and shit, right? So you're being guided to find something to do with this destruction. Okay, it's something in this that you can use instead of putting yourself in it and feeling like, oh, things are happening to me, this is happening, this is so bad, this is terrible. Look at it like, okay, I see what's going on. Or even if you don't see, just at least try to keep the faith that everything is happening for a reason, a bigger reason than what you're aware of. Okay, so if anything, it's about you cooperating instead of going against what God is trying to show you. Try to go with it, like try to go with the flow a little bit better. Okay, because what's yours is yours and nobody can take it from you. Also, that goes with relationships. Whoever is really meant to be in your life, you ain't gonna have to fight to make them stay. You don't have to fight to make these people realize who you are. You know what I'm saying? Go where you are loved. Allow things to fall apart that really ain't shit no way. You might be holding on to something in a situation because you think you're not gonna get it nowhere else, but God is trying to show you that you can get that and 10 times more. You know what I'm saying? Stop holding on to the little shit, okay? Because it's like you can only see a certain you know, you can only see so much from where you are right now. You haven't even stepped foot into the fucking door yet. So it's like, how can you try to get a sneak peek of how your life is going to be when you haven't even done it yet? You haven't lived it. You haven't imagined it that long. You know what I'm saying? And even if you did imagine, at some point, man, it's like, if you're not moving physically, you still will never know, because there's so many different possibilities that could happen, especially when you're just thinking about it and you're planning things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's why when you plan stuff, you be like, okay, this is plan A, this is plan B, this is plan C, because either way, like, you know that you want something to happen, but that doesn't mean it's going to go the exact way. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you daydream about something, you're like, wow, like, this could happen. You know what I'm saying? So let me prepare myself. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen, though. Those are just different possibilities. So that's what I'm getting. Like, don't allow this disruption or this chaos to steer you off of your path and make you, you know, and make you go within yourself and doubt, like, what you are capable of. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, things have fallen apart. Yeah. So that motorcycle was very symbolic because it had that fast willpower energy, that horsepower that, you know, I'm getting that a lot of you may feel like you made a lot of mistakes and you've held, like, you know, you wasted a lot of time. Like, you have that type of mindset sometimes. But really, it's like when you make mistakes, it actually pushes you faster than what you would have been if you just did everything so-called correctly. Okay, because at the same time, like, when you make a mistake, you learn things that you wouldn't have learned if you didn't make that mistake. Okay, so everything is for a reason. You might feel like, oh, it was so selfish of me, or it was so wrong of me to do things that way. But in reality, it's like, yeah, it's good that you know that now. But at the time that you weren't aware and you decided to make, you know, make a certain decision, you know, it was meant to be made so that you can see more than what you saw previously. So Yeah, instead of allowing this, like, you know, you might have played a part. You might feel like, okay, I played a part in all of this. Like, you know, I fucked up this, I messed this up, I messed up this opportunity, this person doesn't like me anymore, all that stuff. But like I said, everything, whatever is meant for you is going to stay, you know. And sometimes you might have those phases where things look a little scary, but you're not going to know how things are going to turn out until later. So right now, you know, you might feel like, oh, I'm going to lose my soulmate, or I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that if I decide to be myself or choose myself. But it's like, let it happen first and let the process happen. These people might have those thoughts. You know, you might have to fight your way up. You might have to fight a little bit. I'm not saying that it don't take no strength at all, but it shouldn't drain you and make you feel depleted at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time when you do something, and if you have to put in that work, there's something coming out of it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether you don't really want to do it or not, most of the time when you still decide to do it, you know that there's something coming out of this. Okay, and it's going to be worth it. Not just something's coming out of it, but it's something that's worth your time right now. So if you are arguing with your partner, you know what I'm saying, this is your romantic partner, arguing actually helps y'all to grow. You know what I'm saying? Having these disagreements can help. So, you know, you might feel like, damn, it's wrong for me to argue, or it's wrong for me to have this point of, I mean, you know, to be against this person. But that doesn't mean that you should agree with everything they're saying. It just means that, you know, y'all have some work to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, it doesn't have to be that, like, that complicated, you know. Still have the faith, you know, like nothing is going to be so-called perfect or all rainbows and sunshine. You're going to have your dark moments where you don't know what's next. You're going to have your times of confusion where you might not know what to do about something, okay? But that's how you learn. Okay, those are times where you actually are elevating, either in your relationship or in your life, in your career, you know, whatever. You're elevating. So, with the High Priestess right here, I really am getting these vibes that you know something is coming in for you, okay? And the Queen of Pentacles is like, this is somebody who, on the other side, they have everything that they've worked for. And what I'm getting, I'm not seeing any cards that symbolize that you've been working hard or nothing. I know that you worked hard, okay? I know that you worked hard, especially on the internal, because the High Priestess is somebody who's connected to God, okay? I just feel like you can actually give other people signs, like a tarot reader, you know what I'm saying? Like, the High Priestess is like the preacher's wife, a psychic reader, somebody who sees the future. They see beyond the physical realm. You know what I'm saying? They use divination. They do well when it comes to the dark time, the nighttime and stuff. People like to come to this person when it's nighttime, or when they're going through a dark night of the soul, or when they're feeling like, you know, they need spiritual help. I'm almost getting like, you know, when you have certain entities attached to you and stuff like that, you know how you go to the church to get help because you're like, pray this off of me, throw this holy water on me and all that shit. This is the High Priestess. This is the feminine energy of that. Like the priest might throw the water on you and pray over you, but the High Priestess is somebody who really can feel on a deeper level the emotions. They might cry with you. They might, you know, there's somebody who understands more than just the physical realm, okay? So because you can feel, like, you feel another dimension about to, like, collab with your reality right now, okay? There's something here, it's like you're choosing to actually express yourself the way that you know is right, okay? I'm getting this energy where a lot of the time in your life, you've been following, you know, the norm, what everybody else would do and stuff. Like, when it comes to an obstacle and stuff, you would handle it how everybody else would handle it instead of the way that you decided, you know, whatever you naturally feel guided to do. And so now you're choosing, like, okay, I know better, you know better. So you're choosing to do better because you realize that playing around and like trying to keep up with the Jones and all that shit, it's not getting you nowhere. It's actually keeping you stagnant or worse. You know what I'm saying? It's making you, like, physically, you're losing your assets. You're losing the things that you worked so hard for because you worked for it in a materialistic way. You worked for it in a way where, you know, it was very controlling, and I don't think God was involved most of the time. It was just you trying to do stuff yourself, okay? So yeah, I just, with this Queen of Pentacles, it's giving me a vibe of content. Like, you're gonna be so content, okay? Let me tune into this energy, because it's almost like it's something I feel like you can't even fathom right now, because you don't see it. Like, you almost, if I told you right now what you're going to experience, you wouldn't believe it. Okay, so that's the energy I'm getting. God might not be showing you things because you're not going to believe it. You're not going to act right. You're going to act a fucking fool. You know what I'm saying? Even if you do believe it, you're not going to act right. I'm just getting that. Like, y'all going to wow the fuck out. So that's why the tower is happening. And then after the tower, that's when things are just going to be already into place. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like a reward. Like, imagine falling down a big ass hill. You hitting rocks, you hitting trees, and you know, things smacking you in the face. You getting chased by a dog and all this shit. But then at the end of it, you're finally safe. And then you're safe, and you look around and you find a big ass treasure chest, and it has pictures of all your ancestors, all the money that they left you from all lifetimes, and you know, you got knowledge about yourself and your past life. It's just like, I'm telling y'all, it's that energy where you're set for life in a way. Like, I can't tell y'all, because this is different for all of you. Chica, I'm gonna put you in this room. Y'all give me a minute. I'm about to put him in the room, because it's either he out here meowing or he in there trying to come back out. Like, how many times did I get up and let him in or out? Like, I know you bored, or you know, you might be a little lonely right now, but I'm doing work, boy. Come on, Chico. Yeah, so let me pull these cards to clarify. I need the High Priestess, the Tower, and the Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, if I tune into this energy, I'm just getting this. It's like, it's almost like you having a baby or something. You know, you can't really imagine. Like, you know that the baby's coming, but you don't know how the baby's gonna act. You don't know how the baby's gonna look, and you don't know how you're gonna, you know, perceive or act. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a lifestyle change. Okay, something is changing, like huge. Something huge is changing in your life, and if I told you everything you're going to be doing, you wouldn't believe it. It's almost saying that before you even get pregnant, and I tell you that you're going to have triplets, and your triplets' name are going to be ... You know, I'm telling you the names, and I'm telling you their personalities. You're going to be like, no, you're just bullshitting. Like, you know, your human mind is not going to be able to believe that, because it's like, you know, it's cap. You don't feel like it's cap. So, okay. I feel like y'all have so much faith. So I did see the Queen of Wands and the Empress came out. It didn't come out, but as I'm shuffling, these are things that are showing up. The Hangman, the Justice card, okay? So you're seeing something clearly where you're getting justice for yourself finally. You're actually being your own best friend. You're being your own support, your number one supporter, your number one fan. You're actually standing, you know, like, you don't feel alone anymore. You're with God. You might be by yourself, but you know that you're not alone, okay? And so that's the energy I'm getting. That's what's keeping you patient, and just, it's helping you to live in the moment, okay? Because you know that, like I said, everything happens for a reason. So even though things might be a little scary, you might feel like, you know, you want to prevent certain things from happening, but you also realize that you can only control so much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Hangman, the Nine of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles, okay? You have the Emperor that came on the bottom of the deck. Remember I said the Empress came out? I mean, well, it showed itself. So You know, there's definitely a divine counterpart energy here. I feel like whoever's watching, you do have a divine counterpart. If you've ever been curious about that, like, do I have a soulmate? You know, am I going to meet somebody to spend the rest of my life with? Yes. And with the motorcycle coming in the back again, I just feel like this person is almost in the same journey or the same energy as you, but in their own life. They're trying to get themselves together. Excuse me. Like, when it comes to their beliefs and them just taking a leap of faith too, and knowing that there's abundance on the other side, they're trying to meet you there. Okay, right now I'm getting this energy where they still might be in that energy of trying to control things, and you know, it's that same way of thinking that you just got out of, or that you're trying to get out of. Okay, you're trying not to see the obstacles, you're trying not to be afraid of things, you know, that you don't have to be afraid of. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to get yourself out of this mindset. And so this person, they're in this energy where they're becoming aware of it, but they're still not 100% sure what this is. They're just becoming aware, like, well, every time I do this, it's not working. You know what I'm saying? They're in this energy where they feel like nothing is working that they do. Okay? So with the Hangman right here, it's something here where you're putting yourself in another, you know, like you're seeing things from another light. Okay? And I feel like this is symbolic of, you know, things in your life might not be going so well. You know, other people, they might come into it, feel like they might try to push you to do certain things so that things can happen faster, or they might be telling you, you know, why don't you just do this? You're not taking any action. They're gonna make you feel like you're not doing enough to prevent something, but you know that you're doing enough. And it's like the people that might come and tell you this is because they're so used to trying to control things. They haven't learned this lesson yet, that no matter how hard they try to do something, God is still gonna do whatever God is gonna do. Okay? So it's something here where it's like, don't even listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so while this Tower moment is happening, we have the Nine of Cups right here. Okay, so this is self-fulfillment. This is something where, you know, it's not the Ten of Cups. It doesn't mean that other people outside, like, it's not like you're gonna have a lot of people to celebrate this with, or everybody's not gonna be happy with you while you're going through this. Okay, so you might feel excited and joyful that, you know, yes, things are falling apart because I know that they're going to be restructured. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you're seeing through this, but the people in your immediate surroundings, because they love you so much and they see that things are kind of falling apart in your life, they're afraid for you. So they're going to try to tell you, okay, do this. I got this for you. Make this happen. You know, they're going to try to make you do things that you know that you shouldn't be doing right now, because you're trying to be patient and wait on God to bring something for you. Okay, so with the Nine of Pentacles, this is something about keeping this abundance to yourself, keeping this knowledge to yourself right now. Okay, you know, you might not need to show people what you're going through all the way. Okay, it's something here like, you know, if there, you know who I'm talking about. Like, there's some people that you don't need to talk about your problems with. Okay, it's just that simple. And others, you know, of course, everybody's not going to agree with everything you do, but there are some people that can still help you, even if you do tell them your problems. But you know, only you know who should hear certain things and who shouldn't hear certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because then they'll get out of their they won't stay in their place. Basically, they'll just try to control you, and that's something that you got to be aware of. Not only that, you have to be aware of yourself. Like, when you're afraid, you know, try to stay in this Nine of Cups energy where you know that all the happiness that's really real comes from within first. Okay, everything that's real is already within you. Okay, so if it's true love, if it's happiness, if it's peace, you already feel that before your true love actually comes around. You already feel peace before you actually put yourself in a peaceful environment. You already feel happy before you actually go to Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always an element, like, you have to, the reason why you are even attracted to something is because it's already within you first. Okay, so you have to realize that, you know, if you do want something, if you do feel like you want something in your life, try to feel that energy within yourself, because it's already there. For you to already be like, I want to do this, find it first within yourself. Okay, And that will help you to not really worry too much about the process, because you already can feel it. Like it's almost the energy of, you know, you're at a restaurant and you ask for your food or whatever, you ask for your appetizers and stuff, but the server, they bring you bread and water until the food comes, you know what I'm saying? So in the meantime, you know, you're not hungry, you're not, you know, you're still being occupied until what you want actually comes in, okay? So that's what I'm getting. And so even though it might be bread, it might not be exactly the meal that you wanted, you feel good in the moment because you know that this bread is going to turn into something else. This is a process right now. So right now you might, for example, you might want a house, right? You might be waiting to buy your property and stuff like that. But right now you have to stay in an apartment. Right now you might have to stay from hotel to hotel, or you might have to sleep on somebody's couch. But in your mind, you're still happy because you know that this is not going to last forever. You've already done the work. You've already made moves so that later on, this is going to be there for you. So you don't have to keep working right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the energy I'm getting. Like, you already put in some work, okay? You already put in the work. You've already put the word out there. Yes, these motorcycles, they're coming right on point. I feel like things are happening faster than what you realize, you know? You know how they say when you work out in the gym, that rest day is the day that you're actually gaining, you know what I'm saying? If you continue to work and work and work, you're not going to see that progress until you actually sit down for a few days and just, you feel sore and you see that, oh, I actually have been working on this, you know what I'm saying? If it becomes a lifestyle for you, and you don't, like, if working becomes a lifestyle for you, you're changing the narrative of what that abundance can mean for you too, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a reward, it's just going to be like almost a side effect, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so with the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles, clarifying that. So I do feel like whatever's coming in, it's an opportunity to work with others or work in a community or collab or something here. I'm not sure what this is. I just heard that you're going to be doing God's work, okay? So right now, I feel like a lot of you who are watching, you're definitely the creative group. Like, you're the type who, you might not necessarily be creative, like hands-on creative. You could be mentally creative, where you're putting poetries together, you know, stuff like that. You can make beats, whatever, clothes, stuff like that. Like, it's a, who knows, like, whatever this is, you are producing something. It's something that's coming from you that you're putting out into the world, right? So that's originally who you are. That's what you should be doing, and you know that you knew that this is your purpose. You've been doing this for a long time, but on the way to this entrepreneurship, you've been trying to force yourself to work a 9-to-5. You've been forcing yourself to, you know, like, make money the way other people would make money. But you realize that every time you get that money, you end up spending it faster than you made it, because you're more stressed than anything. Okay, when you're stressed out and you do something and you receive something, you're like, part of you feels like, okay, I need, like, you have to pay yourself back for that. Because you almost, how can you forgive yourself that easy for putting yourself through so much work, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why people who work a 9-to-5, they always come home and they have to have a beer, or they have to have a blunt, or they have to have, you know, a cigarette during job. Like, they have to actually take multiple breaks because, you know, the job itself can be stressful, let alone the intention behind it and why you feel like you have to do it, you know what I'm saying? That can be very draining. So what I'm getting is that, you know, this is God telling you, I'm giving you a position in my office, you know what I'm saying? God is telling you, you can do this work for me. So if this is creative work, or it's something that's coming from you, because God is within you. So God is saying, okay, if you connect with that part of me within yourself and just share that with the world, I will make sure you have all the money that you need, okay? So, like I said, you could be a tarot reader. You could be a life coach. You could be somebody who, you know, a daycare teacher. Like, it's something here, you actually do help the community in a way, you know? I feel like you also help people to see a different perspective about what they're experiencing right now. You help to take the weight off of their shoulders, okay? Because with the Emperor right here, this is somebody who's in control of something, who knows how to plan and actually execute the plan, you know? Like, I plan for this to happen, so I'm going to take each step to make it work, you know? And that's what I'm getting. This person is very action oriented, okay? This person, they might say what they're going to do, but they don't spend too much time explaining why or when or stuff like that. They put the idea out there and they get it done when it's, you know, in divine timing, okay? Also, the Emperor doesn't see any obstacles. This person is the obstacle, you know what I'm saying? This person created the whole atmosphere, so how could it be afraid of itself? Okay, so that's the energy that I'm getting. Like, once you get into this, like, you're not afraid of the obstacle because you put yourself in this position anyway. You know that, you knew before that when I got into this position, I might have to, you know, do a little extra work, or I might have to explain myself a little bit, but that's okay. I'm willing to go through that because I know the reward is bigger, okay? So that's the energy I'm getting. Like, y'all know that the reward is bigger than what you're going through or what you're going to have to go through. So, you know, I'm getting, you're definitely going to be healed, okay? There's a healing energy. With the Three of Pentacles right here, I'm getting that there's going to be people on your side, finally. At some point, I feel like you had to change your mindset to find God within yourself, because there weren't many people who agreed with you or actually lived that lifestyle that you live. Not even close, you know what I'm saying? They were actually very opposite. And if you try to explain yourself to anybody, they would put you down even more. They will make you feel like your reasoning is even trash, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like once you take this leap of faith and you just do you, you know what I'm saying, instead of trying to find people and let them come to you, you're actually going to run into people who are on that same journey, who are going to support you, who are going to lift you up, give you more ideas, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's that energy. Like, you don't have to go to school. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. If it's not on your path, don't do it. It's that simple. But I feel like you're still going to receive everything that you want. You're still going to receive everything that you want regardless, because it's in your path. So what else does the collective need to hear? Yeah, so these energies are kind of repetitive. I feel like you can have anything that you want. God wants you to know you can have anything that you want. Okay, but some of you are in denial of that. But it's because you might need to disconnect from somebody in your immediate circle who keeps you thinking in a lack state of mind, who always makes you, like, every time you have a plan, they're like, okay, how you gonna do that? Or didn't you just say you didn't have enough money? Didn't you just say you don't have this? How you gonna do that? Okay, these are the people you need to release out of your energy. Stop telling them everything. Stop trying to offer them your cup of love, trying to give them ideas and help them with their journey. Because I feel like, you know, the mindset that you have, they're just not meant to take that on. I don't know if they're ever meant to take it on at some point. Who knows? Because it's different people that you might be entertaining right now. But whoever this is, it's like they're not open to your mindset. They're not open to your ideas. They're not open enough for you to teach them how you think. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with the World card here, there's more out there for you. Okay, there's more people, there's more opportunities. You know, there's a lot out there where you can express yourself, be yourself, just be your full self all the way around without second guessing or without worrying if you're going to ruin your reputation or something. You know, you have a place here. You do. You really have a very safe, sacred place that's meant for you. You also have a very safe, sacred person that's meant to be there by your side, okay? That's meant to, you know, you take care of them, they take care of you. On a spiritual level, y'all look out for each other, y'all help each other, you know, mentally, y'all can talk to each other about anything. Physically, y'all can, you know, y'all enable each other to be free, and y'all express different things together. Okay, I'm just getting that energy. But you have to believe that that's possible. You have to believe that that's out there for you, okay? Because I'm getting, the more that you try to hold on to this person or this opportunity, that you know that it's like you have to put in so much work. You have to put in so much work when you know that it's like it's draining you. And y'all, it's like you're not getting anywhere. You haven't progressed in a long time. And if anything, you've actually seen yourself go backwards in certain areas that you didn't even think that you could go backwards. You know what I'm saying? You were like, how the fuck did I just lose myself? Okay? Those are the situations you need to release. And you need to realize that whatever you think you're getting out of that, you can get that out of so much. It's something that's so much better, okay? It's about you. Like, it's your mindset. If you don't choose to see it, nobody can help you. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if you see it, but you don't know how to go about it and stuff, but you don't even see it. You're not even asking questions on how to go about it. So at some point, it's your responsibility to actually open your mind up to see the visions and ask God to show you. You know what I'm saying? Ask God to show you what you should be doing next, or what your path is, or, you know, anything that you want to see. Ask God. Because I just feel like, you know, you might get afraid, and because you're afraid, you just take action. You get up and you're like, let me just do this, let me do that. But you do it without thinking. You don't think that long. Or if you do think about it, you're thinking in a way where you're trying to control it instead of seeing where things really should go. Outside of what you think, outside of, you know, your fears. Because if you're afraid and you're like, okay, because I'm afraid, I need to be thinking about this. That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if you're afraid a little bit, you know, you're afraid and you're like, God, you know, I'm afraid that this gonna happen. What am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? If God tell you to rest and you rest, that's what you should be doing. And if God tell you, okay, like, God is always gonna show you what needs to be shown at the right time. So you need to stay prayed up, and you need to stay like in a space where you're calm enough to hear God, okay? There's a certain frequency that you have to be on to hear the universe. If you're always distracted and you're always eating bullshit, you're always listening to music, every time you get bored, you can't never sit there. You always have to distract yourself by something around you. You can't go without food for a day. You know what I'm saying? You can't go without something. Like, you're always feeding yourself, or you're always indulging in something, whether that's social media, the regular media, whatever. That's not good, okay? You're not going to be able to hear God. And even if you do, your body is going to go against it, because most of you is already occupied with, you know, low vibrational things. And that's, you know, what you're surrounded by the most. You know, if your energy, if something is outweighing other things around you, you're more than likely going to focus on that more. So if you're surrounding yourself with bullshit most of the time, then you're going to focus on the bullshit more. So if you change your mindset to focus on the good things, you're going to see the good things, and you're going to actually feel that. You're going to be that, okay? What you focus on, you become. What you give your energy to, you are feeding it. You actually end up, it grows in your life. So if you're feeding this negativity, you know, that's a spirit, that's an entity that isn't really you, unless you really want it to be. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not you at the end of the day. Like, you know, let's be real. There are spirits that feed off of us, that, you know, they work for their own selfish reasons. And the more that we entertain that part of ourselves, the more that we feel drained, okay? That's that same spirit that makes you feel like you have to get up so you can clock in every day, and you better be in there on time or you're going to lose your job. And, you know, it gives you that fear-based energy where you think, how can you even love yourself in that type of environment? You know what I'm saying? You might feel like, okay, I need to take a breather and, you know, think about that time where my daughter or, you know, my child said something very hurtful to me. I wonder what that really meant. You know what I'm saying? You might have something that you really need to focus on, that God is trying to get you to focus on at that time, on a certain day. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that can wait till your off day. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, well, I'll think about that when I'm off. But really, it's something that needs to be focused on right now. But because you're choosing to just, you know, say forget what God is talking about right now, I have to get this money, you know, you're going to receive karma for that. Like, karma, everything is energy, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be that you're a bad person. You're not a bad person. It's just that your mind is not right. Your priorities are not straight. You're prioritizing comfortability and And the way that you're doing it, the way that you're even going about it, is not even right. You know what I'm saying? You're doing stuff that God didn't even tell you is okay to do. You're doing it because this is what society is used to doing, or what they even society don't even want to do it. Society feels like they have to do it too. So you're just adding on to it. You're just another person that's adding on to the slave mindset of like, I have to get this done, I have to do that, so I won't be without food, or I won't be without, you know, security or transportation, you know, whatever. And it's like, were you born with any of that shit? Did you, you know what I'm saying? There has been plenty of times where you survived without everything that you feel like you need right now. You didn't need it. You don't need it, and you never will need it. It's just something that you have tricked your mind to feel like you need, or you have to have in order to have a good life. But a good life can come out of any situation. It's about you. It's about who's living that life and what you decide to express through that life. You know what I'm saying? You can always have a good life. It's people that are homeless as fuck, but they choose to have a good life every day. They have people out there that they can talk to. They're talking to the strangers. They're having a good time. Who gives a fuck if they drinking their beer or they smoking their crack or whatever they want to do? They living their life. Who knows what living life really means for the next person? You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody tell you that you're not living your life because you don't want to get up out of bed at 5 a.m. to go to work. You know what I'm saying? You living your life. You rather be in bed laying the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? It's different. People live different. People think different. And also, there's different times of the day that, you know, you might get up around 3 p.m. You might sleep the rest of the day before that, right? Somebody else, they might get up at fucking 7 a.m. and then they go to bed at 3 p.m. You know, if at the end of the day, everybody still has a time where they go to sleep, a time where they're productive, a time where they're just indulging in stuff, a time where you're sad, a time where you're lost, a time where you know a time where you actually know and you have everything put together. You know where you're going, you know where you're headed, you know where you're being, all that stuff. And you have a time where you might feel like you're suffering, but you know, it's all kind of energies out here in this world. Nothing is going to be straight linear, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Even the perfect person has, even a person with the perfect life, they have them days, you know what I'm saying? They have those days where they feel like, you know, what if I lost everything? Or what if this didn't work out for me? And even if it's not something as big as your situation, whatever that person is going through, it could be as big to them as whatever you're going through. You know what I'm saying? This person might really feel like it's life or death to have a certain, I don't know, status or whatever. But we don't know. We can't judge the next person. We don't know what that really means for them and what their ancestors has fought to get through so that they can actually have that choice. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much. That's why I always recommend, like, stay in your fucking lane. Don't label people. Don't be trying to judge people and tell people what they should or what they could and could not do or anything, because we don't know. We don't know what's going on within their mind and even what's controlling that mindset, what energy they're feeling, what emotions and pain that they've been through. What is God telling them? We don't know that. We can only support. If we don't want to support somebody, we need to let them go. Let them go on their way to where they can find that support. Okay, it's that simple. Don't be on somebody else's platform telling them that they need to take their shit down, they're doing something wrong or anything, because, you know, there's different levels to everything too. Like, just because you might know more than somebody, that doesn't mean that they can't express what they know at the time. Because there's people at their level right now that need to hear what they're saying. They might not be able to comprehend what you know, but they can comprehend it in a way that might be a little dumbed down. Who knows? Okay, so I say that to say, like, you know, I'm really trying, like, this is a motivational reading for y'all who actually know. Like, you have a deep feeling where you know that things are going to work out for you, even though things are falling apart on the physical realm, or things might be restructuring, and it's scary, okay? It might not be falling apart. That's not how you're seeing it. You see things are changing, okay? You see that this person that you might have been dealing with for years, they're starting to think differently. They're starting to reveal things that they didn't reveal before. You're starting to see things differently. Opportunities that you thought you had, they're starting to take those back. You know, it's just shit like that. Like, things are starting to be weird in your life. Like, oh, these people are acting funny now. Oh, now that I'm actually being myself, now people, it's just about you keeping your head up. You have to know that everybody's a human being. You know, there's a time and a place where you actually felt like you could judge another person too, you know, and looking back at yourself, you realize it was because you were ignorant. You didn't know what they were going through, but you had your own personal experience that made you judge this person, you know. And so you have to put yourself in their shoes again. Like, okay, these people are judging me because they don't understand that, you know, I have a purpose that they're not going to understand, you know. It's that simple. Don't let nothing stop you. Keep going. And trust in that vision that God shows you, okay? Trust that it is coming, and don't let anything steer you off of that path, okay? So that is all I have for you. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into this message today. As I mentioned before, my Cash App is in the description box. If you would like to tip or donate to the channel, I really appreciate all support. Okay, much love to everyone. I really pray, you know, y'all have protection and clarity on y'all's journey, and also just feel good, you know, feel good at all times. Try your best to just feel good, because that's where God is. God is close to the energy of feeling good. So that's all I have. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. As I said, I appreciate everybody. Much love to everyone. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to stay notified for my future posts, okay, and comment if it did resonate. And I will see you guys in my next video, okay? Bye bye.